Hi, I'm Karina.
And I'm Maddie.
And welcome back to Everything with the Fairy Tale Sink. This is our first episode of 2022, which is kind of bonkers.
Yeah, and yesterday, which we're filming this on the 9th of January, so yesterday on the 8th of January was the 1 year anniversary of this thing that we call
No. Wow.
Of the vodcast, whatever you want to call it. No, WandaVision's anniversary. If you haven't noticed already, Karina and I are wearing the same shirt. Mine's just black and hers is gray. That is turning 1 the day after this episode comes out. This episode comes out the 14th of January, and this WandaVision will be turning 1 on the 15th of January.
Yes.
Get your dates right.
I barely remember my own birthday. So... anyways, this week we will be going into the Nachtkrapp, which is a German legend. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. This will be kind of a short and sweet one to bring us into the new year. Recommendations?
Yes, my recommendation is diamond art, which if you haven't done it, you should definitely try it. It's like paint by number, but with like little tiny jewels. And you just basically put them in the corresponding spots. And it's very relaxing and satisfying, and I definitely enjoy it.
My recommendation this week, I have no idea if it's still in theaters, but if it's not, see it as soon as it's out on digital or on DVD. No Way Home was so good. I love Spider-Man, so yeah, that's my recommendation. Shall we get into it?
Yes.
So, I'm gonna give this disclaimer. I am not the biggest fan of birds. I pretty strongly dislike them. Yeah, Madison's family has chickens. I used to, recoil from the chickens. I've gotten a lot better.
Now we just have roaming yard roosters.
Yeah, I'm not
a big fan. You do better with them than you used to.
I do. But yeah, I am the one person in our 11th grade English class that actually got freaked out by Alfred Hitchcock's birds. I really don't like them. However, the one type of bird that I've always appreciated and I've actually grown to like is in the family corvid, the corvid family. I mean, there's also owls. I like owls, but we're not talking about those today. So if you're unsure of what a corvid is, the big species we have in America are crows and ravens, and then we're also going to talk about rooks. But rooks are...
oh, the life of having cats.
A northern European type of corvid that has a signature white beak and then a featherless area around their face. They're actually really cool.
I'm going to Google that while you talk.
Yes. So corvids in myth usually symbolize, death, misfortune, mischief, not great stuff. And recent studies actually show that corvids are insanely intelligent. They actually outperformed chimpanzees on multiple tests. Wyland's getting into things. But yeah, they outperformed primates on multiple tests, though I couldn't find specifications on which ones. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons these birds are associated with horror. I mean, firstly, they're massive black birds who like eating dead flesh. But
my dad feeds crows. He has a flock of crows that come to him every day and he feeds them. Mm-hmm. And they've remembered his face, so they brought him little trinkets from time to time.
No, they're insanely smart. And I'll get into a couple more fun facts just now. Rooks are known to sing to themselves, and they have these weird chirpy, almost human noises.
It's anytime a bird is able to mimic a human sound, I don't like it.
Hang on.
It just doesn't seem possible or correct or right.
Yeah. Actually, all species of corvid, including the raven and the crow, can learn to mimic full sentences and human voices, which I did not know.
I got a reel, actually, of a crow that was talking like a middle-aged woman. It was kind of creepy. It was like, hello, to the lady. And I was like, I don't like this.
It's a little creepy. But yeah, they gather at dusk usually in these giant flocks that'll go up and block out the entire sky. I've seen that before. It's wild. And they have very few natural predators to the point where they're known to play literal cat and mouse games with wolves because they just have no fear. So of course this is the one type of bird I like. I'm terrified of chickens, but I think these are cool. Anyway.
There's nothing wrong with chickens.
Just
absolutely not. I think their dinosaur feet are cute.
I don't like them. No disrespect to chickens. Anyways, I think that corvids are awesome. However, middle-age era individuals would not agree with me. They saw these animals usually as bad omens, which is not surprising because there were infections and plagues and stuff, and they are scavenger birds, so they would go and eat the bodies. And there was also, I didn't really get many specifics on that, but there was a rook infestation at one point. So they were pests at the time. So we're going now to the dark trees of the Schwarzbelt, also known as the Black Forest in Germany. And it's no surprise that during this time, or actually probably well before that, a monster was born. So the Nachtkrapp is the German version of a mythological beast that's found. It's believed to reside in Scandinavia, Northern Europe, as in like Germany, Austria, that sort of area, and into Siberia. I heard into Eastern Siberia. I wasn't able to fact check that. The Nachtkrapp is an eagle-sized, raven-like creature. I read somewhere that it was humanoid, but all of the like portraits of it did not look humanoid. They looked like a demon bird.
I actually Googled it and I think I saw 2 images where they did look like a human type body with a crow's head.
There's a lot of variations, and this is one I think that is very likely mostly word of mouth, so there's not a lot on it. But yeah, it is agreed that they have jet black wings and a reputation drenched in fear, and we'll get into why. So the most common portrayal is that it has the white beak of a rook and holes in its wings that apparently, if you look at, there's like deathly illness. So if you look like into one of these holes, you just get like struck with deadly pneumonia or something. I don't know how it works. But there's even sometimes like areas on their skin of like wounded, exposed flesh. Kind of nasty. And there are conflicting reports about the eyes. There's one that says they have eyes, and if you look into those eyes, you die. They get your soul. There's one where there's like holes where the eyes should be, and if you look into those, you die and they get your soul. And then there's just one where there's no eyes, and I don't know if you look into the like no eye area, if you die and they get your soul, but I would assume that's how it works.
You mean the socket?
No, literally just nothing.
Oh, they don't even have like indented eye sockets?
The holes where the eyes are, that's like the sockets.
Okay.
But there's another option where there's just no eyes. So
Hot.
Yeah, it's generally agreed though that if you look at the Nachtkrapp, you're screwed.
Just don't look at it. If the bird, well, a raven or any corvid specifically, if they look like they have holes in their wings, look the other way.
There was a time where my old roommate and I were in a Wendy's parking lot and we saw a bird with a hole in its wing, and I almost got out of the car to take it to the vet. So I'm the dummy who would look at it. And it looked hurt and I wanted to take care of it. Anyway, so what does the Nachtkrapp do? It's like...
I want to guess. It's a child snatching or child terrifying creature, because that seems to be the only kind of thing we cover on this. Yay!
Yes, it is.
That's the only kind of thing we cover on here, apparently. So, like, take a random
There's a
shot in the dark and you'll get it. I challenge us to find a trickster creature that snatches children.
Oh, I'm sure we could. Peter Piper.
Marry the 2 things we covered. Peter Piper?
It's a dude who came into the town and played his pipe and all the children went out. Like, that's technically a fairy tale, but I'm sure there's a background to that. Anyway, so there is a nicer version, so we'll start with that. There was one report that it came from Hungary, but the translation I found was German, so I'm going to say that it's a German version, and it's called the Guter Nachtkrapp, which means good night raven. And it's known to sing children to sleep. So it'll just sit in the window and just sing.
It sounds like that bird from the live action Maleficent. Remember the bird that would turn into the guy and he watched over Aurora? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it sounds like. These are extremely rare. Like, within the mythology, apparently, it's like a 1 in a million chance that...
Why would we cover something nice on this, you know?
I don't know. I just thought I would throw that in. However, like I said, this version is extremely rare. And usually they do the usual, steal children and eat them thing. Their specialty is apparently ripping off limbs and then ripping out hearts. Lots of ripping. And why did they do that? I have no idea. I cannot find an answer for that.
For fun and me time?
I guess so. Anyways, that's where we have to leave it, because that's literally all that I could find.
On Nachtkrapp or on the good version of that? Oh, okay.
Nope, that is literally all that is out there on Nachtkrapp. So I think this is one of those examples of like we know that there's a Scandinavian version. We know that there's this one, which is the Germanic version. Like, I would guess that this is one of those, like, oral legends where, like, every single village had, like, their own version, and then it just got lost over time.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's a lovely little look into German folklore. I've heard a little bit of other German folklore. Y'all are weird over there. That's all I'm gonna say. I took 4 years of German in high school. I'm allowed to say that. I've been to Germany. I can attest to the fact that your folklore is weird. It's my little flex. But yeah. What did you think?
I mean, there's not a lot to really judge on. I just, it really, when it boils down to it, reminds me of the crow or the raven, whatever Maleficent has. No. I think she has a raven. Maleficent, she either has a crow or a raven, but that guy, it reminds me of him.
Interesting.
I don't know why. He was a lot nicer. He reminds me of the good version of these creatures.
Yeah, I don't know. This is, like, kind of weird, peculiar. I distinctly remember being in German class, and I was writing a story because I was bored. And so I was like, well, I'm in German class, and I'm done with my work. What if I just looked up German creatures? And I found this one, and I was like, wow, that's messed up. And that was sophomore year of high school, so that was 4 years ago. And then it just randomly came back to me, like, middle of December, and I was like, I should look that up again.
Yeah. Oh, the things you learn.
I'm really proud of myself for remembering the name.
Good job. Because I know for a while you couldn't remember the name. You're like, I know these creatures, and I can't remember the name.
I was like, it's something nightbird. It's literally night raven. But yeah, I'm proud of myself for finding that. Yeah, so that's just a little short and sweet episode for this week. What's coming up next week?
Next week, we are returning to Egyptian mythology and talking about the god of death himself, Anubis.
Also known as the one god that I've ever had a crush on when Rick Riordan wrote him.
I bring that up in the episode.
I was 13, and I think you were in the same boat.
Anyways, we'll get more into that in the episode.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. Wishes.
Yes. Okay. Wishes.
We're still a little rusty. We haven't done this in like a month, but yeah.
It's been a well-deserved break.
Yeah. And it feels good to be back, but we needed the break. Anyways, should I go first with wishes?
Yes. And then I do a poll before you do this, and people like the question of the day, but they want it at the end, so.
Okay.
That way it's easier to remember, which makes sense.
Yes. So let's do wishes, and then I'll come up with a question of the day because it's my episode.
Good idea.
So my wish of the day is for our college students out there, or our high school students. But if you're starting winter quarter or winter semester isn't a thing. But if you're starting,
it's for some places.
But if you're starting school in the new year, or if you've already been there for a couple weeks, it doesn't really matter. But as you're going into school in the winter, this doesn't apply to you if you're in the southern hemisphere. But I hope that you stay warm. I hope that you stay healthy. I hope that you have a good time at school, or not. But like, I hope that school goes well for you. Listen, yeah, I just hope that winter quarter is good for you and that you stay warm and healthy and happy. Bada bing, bada boom. And like I said, this doesn't apply if you're in Australia and it's summer.
My wish is that if you are in an area right now where it's very snowy, that you are able to travel safely if you have to travel at all, and you're not completely snowed in, because I was completely snowed in and I hated it. I don't like the snow.
You and I feel very differently about snow because I love it. However, I can say that being snowed in is not fun.
Do you want to come here? Because my car was completely buried in snow.
I literally just said I don't want to be snowed in. I like a little bit of snow. Like, I like when the whole world is sparkly and pretty and it's Christmas time, and yeah, I like that. Basically, our general thing is stay warm.
Question of the day.
My question of the day is, I guess out of all of our child snatchers, which one would you like to run into the least?
It's a good one. Should we answer the question?
Oh, geez.
I think we should answer the question.
Yeah, we probably should.
I personally do not want to run into Qualupalik.
Yeah, that's where my brain was going as well.
The thought of something being under the ice, I'm not a big fan of.
And also, like, I feel like, no offense to her, but she sounds very stinky. She literally wears, like, flesh clothing.
As you said, there's plenty of ducks.
I don't know why I was so menacing that day. I'm sorry.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching and letting us take a 1-week break. We're very happy to be back. If we hit 50 followers on Instagram and 50 subscribers here on YouTube, I will buy a poster of Loki and it will go somewhere. If we hit 100, Karina will buy a poster of Shang-Chi and it will go somewhere. And if we hit 1,000 of each, my stepdad Steve will pretend to milk the plastic cow at Hagen, which started as a joke and we're now continuing it.
We're holding him to that.
We're holding him to it. Absolutely, we are. And go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, which are both at everythingbuttheftsink. I don't know if Karina posts on TikTok. I don't have TikTok.
Some are coming. I've had difficulties with TikTok, but yes, some are coming.
And as always, remember,
smash that one.
Snitches end up in ditches. I still need to.
Went to Sophia Nygaard, but.
Anyways, we will see you next week, which we're filming the same day, so we'll be wearing the same clothes.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye.